Hi folks, it's Al Nygren again from the New Jersey International Film Festival, here with the last of our filmmaker interviews. Remember folks, we'll be screening movies from May 31st to June 16th on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings beginning at 7 p.m. in Voorhees Hall, room 105 on the College Avenue campus of Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey. General admission for all of our films is $10. You can purchase tickets in advance now, too. Just go to our website, njfilmfest.com, or give us a call at 848-932-8482. Well, today, I have Don Freeman here, director of Art House Part 1, and this wonderful short documentary is about artist homes. And when we watched this film, we were completely mesmerized. First of all, the camera work is really amazing.
Thank you.
And the subject, the actual homes, are really quite beautiful. Tell us a little bit about your movie.
I started to put this project together as a book for Abrams, and it came out last year, and it's called Artists' Handmade Houses. And the writer and I narrowed it down to 13 houses in America that really stood out, visually, but also told a great story about the person who lived there. They were all artists, craftsmen, woodworkers, George Nakashima, Russell Wright, painters like Frederick Church. So not just painters, but woodworkers, Sam Malouf, and architects like Paolo Soleri, who's really more than an architect because he just started his career making these bells. But what evolved out of the book, which was basically 260 pages of just photography, no archive, very little historical reference or information, no portraits. That's what I realized. I wanted to make a film like that. So I went back to the houses and shot them almost as if you're in Fonthill, this massive house. And the only way to really visit it if in the public is by taking a tour. And I was lucky to be left alone in the rooms with my camera and my lights and my assistant. And I realized that I wanted to do a film so the audience can feel like I felt, being left alone in a Frederick Church house, without the ropes, without the lights, without the docent saying, here we have this and here we have that and here we have that. You don't even get to feel the light, to listen to the sounds, And so I wanted to make a film without all that, narration, so you could experience it. And the photography, again, it's all natural light, very little light, so it's a dark kind of thing, but you do get to see how the rooms really look.
It's really quite wonderful, and I think the way that the camera moves through the space is very similar to the way you describe it as a solitary individual making their way through the space.
Right. Yeah. I like it to be like a mouse or something. I couldn't really get that low, but it's just sort of moving. It's not, I didn't have, it was not a big production. I'd show up and have one day to film Fonthill.
How accessible was the space?
They were amazingly accessible, and I just couldn't bring a lot of equipment. My crew had to be like two people.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I financially couldn't afford anything like a dolly or a crane, so I literally had to invent everything. We used PVC pipes and a track.
For tracking,
We'd lay those down and do a tracking shot. Again, I didn't want it to be like slick, because I wanted it to be, these are about artists and their handmade houses. I wanted the film to have kind of a feel like that too. It wasn't all of a sudden Hollywood comes in and makes this, HD, really high, although it is high HD, but it's, whatever. I wanted it to have, you're going to see grain, you're going to see the depth of these environments, and so I did that for a year and pretty much photographed these houses, and then I brought it back I taught myself how to edit because I realized that even the editing was a very personal way in which I was telling the story. And then I just said, you know, this could really be something, you know, and I decided to call everybody back and decided to interview people. Again, I wanted to interview friends, family, the docents, people who cared about the space, not a historian, not the writer of the book. I didn't want to laden you with information. I wanted you to find out about the spirit of these people and why they created these things. So that's why the interviews are touching, I think, you know, because
I think you did a masterful job. And folks, since we only have a minute or so left in our interview, thank you so much, Don. I want folks to come and see this film because it is only 30 minutes long, and it's part of an
hour
series.
and a half. There's 12 houses eventually. I'm still working on it. I'm still editing it. I just really wanted people to start to see it.
Yeah, and
it's about America houses that are still, you know, really need to be protected. You need to visit these places. They're important. One last thing, it's not like Europe where there's money and funds, you know, pouring into these houses. I mean, these are like places that are really struggling to survive. So hopefully this film will bring that, you know, awareness.
And people visit them
and
as well.
people need to visit these places. They're all in New England, if not New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
Well, Doylestown's not too far to go check out
two places, Font Hill and
so folks,
Warden District.
on Sunday, June 16th at 7 p.m., we'll be screening Art House Part 1 with Don Freeman there too. He'll be there to interact with you, take questions. And the feature that evening is also a film about architecture. It's Richard Hankins' 16 Acres, which is about the rebuilding of the World Trade Center. So it's a really wonderful program on Sunday, June 16th at 7 p.m. Hope you'll join us. More information is at njfilmfest.com, or you can call us at 848-932-8482. Thanks so much for coming.